Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. It's Gracie here, and welcome to Serendipitous Crafter. And today I'm taking you around the world in 30 days. And this is Rach and Bella Crafts collaboration for the month of August. And if this is the first time you're hearing about the collab, well, we're taking basically there's a creator for each of the days, and each one has a destination, and we were asked to provide a destination that we either was on our bucket list or that we have been to and that we can talk about. And so I'm day 18, and before I tell you where we're going, my prompt is local traditions, and so a tiny fact booklet. And so everything about the collaboration is in the description box. Rach and Bella Crafts details kind of video that explains everything. It's in the description box. You can go check it out. She has a freebie with the passport, the little passport booklet, where it has all the destinations, and you can do a cluster a day. I did a different take on that. I didn't actually make the well, I sort of did. I'll say, well, I sort of did make the passport booklet, but it kind of got destroyed in the process. You know, all that traveling and stuff, so it came apart, and so I had to do some adjustments to it. Anyway, so for my destinations, we are going to go. Our boarding pass is we're going to San Miguel, Azores, Portugal. So these are 9 islands off of the coast of the continent Portugal, which is actually a fair way away from Portugal itself. And we'll get into all the little details and that sort of thing that you all want to hear about while I craft. Now, so I'll just kind of go through because the first day was setting up your journal, or if not everybody's making a full journal of all 30 days. I am attempting to do all destinations, because I think it would be really great to be it's kind of a form of a bucket list, a travel bucket list, and I really liked hearing all the stories, so I'll share what I've been doing so far. And as you can see by my check marks, I've only really completed 3. I have bits and pieces of some of the other locations, but days go by really quick, and not able to craft every day, but I'm trying. So let's check out, and this is all the names of the creators, and you can get all of this on Rach and Bella Crafts either website or Ko-fi page. And she also has recent freebies as well. Like so many great ideas coming across, really fun. And so let me show you what I've put together as a journal. I sort of kind of went with how Rach did hit her journal, but I don't think I'm going to tab it together. I'm still not sure what I'm doing. I'm just starting to create with it, and it is getting a little bulky already, like she said it would. So we'll see how it goes. And so I had it. This is actually, you can see picking through here, around the world, and it was so fitting. It's actually from a music book I have with these large pages of music paper. And it was so fitting, and I happened to find it. And this one says around the world in 80 days, but it was quite fitting, I find. And I printed the kind of the list of creators and their channel names in smaller form to fit on the page and that sort of thing. And I used the freebie kit, travel journal kit that Rach created to kind of, for us to create a bit of, have some extra pages on the kit. And so so let me just flip through this a bit to show you what's it looking like so far. I'm recording. I'm not sure if it's actually, it looks like it's in delay, but I'll check the replay, and hopefully it's not. Either that, it's the internet that's kind of, and I'm just going to zoom out a bit because the journal is quite large. And so this is what happened to my passport. It split, it ripped, and it's all grunged up and has a whole bunch of stamps on it of where I've traveled so far. And so I decided to kind of lay it out this way. And so every destination I go to, it's going to be part of my couple of pages. So I think I'm like devoting maybe 2 pages per destination, maybe 3. It depends how much I do for each destination. So I'm really playing it by ear. So I'll just walk you through what I've done so far. The Norfolk Broads, that was from Bella. Yeah, Bella from Bella Studios. And I decided to create like a little traveler's notes here. And I've been really paying attention to the videos and taking notes of the creators' stories and their travels. And so I jotted a few of the things they mentioned that I found important, and I just kept that as a traveler's little note. And then I just decorated here, and I used graph paper because I found it kind of went with the vibe. And in her video, if you remember, it was supposed to it was like swatches, and she ended up making like 2 sketches of, well, actually she also did embroidery and a super nice cover from what I remember. And she just kind of did sketching of the sailboat and the windmill. And I decided to do that. I'm not very good at drawing at all. I'm trying to learn. And so I just kind of put here my little sketch of the sailboat, and then we open it here, and I have my windmill here. And then I'm dating the date that Bella's video was, and what was the favorite thing. So my favorite thing about it was the sketching, and obviously the embroidery as well. And I decided to do as well the swatches. And instead of paint swatches or color swatches, I went for my washi tape swatches that I'm using throughout the journal. I've been pulling some other ones still out. I'm pulling all my travel stuff. So far, these are kind of what I've been using that goes with the kit. And this is just some odds and ends from Ireland, because now we're going off to Dublin, Ireland. And I wanted to have a transition between each destination, but I'm not sure how I'm doing that yet. I'm thinking like a boarding pass. Like if you noticed, I have a boarding pass here. And I'd like to give a shout out to Tara, because she's been amazing in the Facebook group page and on YouTube, showing like some shorts and stuff, and just giving a little blurb, a little description of her travel days, and really creative and really funny. And it's been fun to see that daily. And she creates these little boarding passes for each country, and I found that really cool. And she was so nice to make one for me for my destination, and super appreciative of that. And so I still have to cut it and make it look like a boarding pass and grunge it up a bit. So that's what I'm saying. I'd like to have one for each destination, but I'm thinking of making my own, and just kind of maybe putting them in between, or as a flap, maybe as a beginning to an end type of thing. So we'll see. That's just some scraps from Ireland I'm still working on. And so Ireland, so here's the little entry of the passport. I put a bunch of stamps. And the creator's name escapes me. I have her right here. Hold on a second. Scrapbooking with me. Oh, of course, Edith. And so she's never been to Ireland, and she'd left a postcard. And so that's what I kind of took from it. And it's really beautiful. I love to go to Ireland as well. I've never been as well. And I've only seen like movies and the old castle, the structures and that sort of thing. And same, I have here her traveler's notes as well. And I won't repeat all that because, she mentioned it in her video. So go watch her video. And yeah, and so I just kind of made some flaps and of each thing, and I've put a couple of little extra notes. And here I did the tab thing that Rach described in her video. And so, yeah, I think I'm just gonna, I was either gonna keep this as an additional page, or I might actually glue it together and just keep it intact. And yeah, and so this here, I made it a tuck spot. And these are journaling cards. So I just backed it with some map paper. Like beautiful pictures. And then just this kind of sticks out. And what was her prompt was a postcard tuck spot. So I took the postcards and I made a tuck spot out of it. And I didn't use cardstock. I probably should have, but that's okay. And then I have here some more tuck spots of with the back of the postcards, and you know, I can write some notes and stuff, and here more postcards, and we still have some more. This is and off we are going to Washington State. So it seems, I find it choppy, so I want some extra flow to it. I think this is where I'm still kind of working on. See, I didn't quite finish the passport page. It's almost done. And maybe put another little stamp or something. And so, and here was Washington State. And so here I did the same. I did some tab flaps, and I really like that. And here I did some little flaps with this one. And I was very surprised with Washington State, like so much farmland and that sort of thing. And so I don't have like the traveler's notes written yet. I might just write them here since there's a space right here for it. Would be good. So I'm still working on that one. So that's how my kind of journal is coming along, and these are my pages, the bases of the pages that I'm working with. So I'll just quickly flip through it. The signature, it's not sewn in, just to give me some freedom if I want to change how I'm going to do this or that sort of thing. So yeah, and then that's the music paper. So that's the first signature that I have. And this is slightly, I want to call this the inside cover. And then we have the second signature, and I just put some of the scraps that I have going. I don't have any, and some of the digital that I've printed. And so these are the base pages. So I've put like beach, travel theme paper, some blank paper, and just the interesting colors, some magazine. So yeah, coffee dyed paper and that sort of thing in the center. Like, and this one's a winter scene, so I want to put the one that's the person that's going to Alaska. So that would be interesting. So I might actually change the spot of that. And then the third signature, or however it might be the second signature, I don't know. Now we're getting to my destination. Let's get to it. I'm sure I'm already rambling on enough. We are at, I don't even know, 13 minutes. Wow. Okay. That just flew by. So this might be a long video. I'm trying, I'll try not to make it too long, but yeah. And for my prompt, as it was a fact booklet. I had came up with a couple of ideas. I'm on my third idea. At first I did a booklet. I had some food coloring dyed paper, and I wanted to put all the postcards that we get in our kits and make a little booklet. But then was like, well, where am I going to put all the facts? So I was like, I don't know. So I had some pieces glued. Some were already glued here, as you can see. And so I didn't do that. And then I went off and I thought about, oh, I'll do a little zine, because you can fold it up into a little booklet. It would be perfect. But there is a creator a couple of days ago that did a zine. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to do the same thing now, because it's just going to be a little repetitive. So now I'm down to a folio type. And of course, Rachel's video on the 16th, was it? No, we are, well, today I'm filming on the 16th. I think it was on Friday, the 15th. she had a folio, and she has a digital, a freebie for it, and I'm going to use um, her freebie in the journal, but not for my make. And I've already started making my folio. It is it is slightly different since mine's not a digital. Um, I'm covering it with digitals, and it's a little bigger. So let's just get kind of situated, and I'll show you the signature a couple pages of here. This is something, it so happens I had subscribed to a mail club about destinations around the world, and when I signed up, the exact one, San Miguel, Azores, was that month, and this was last year's, and I just kept it, and it's very it's very cool. It gives details, gives them some facts, and that sort of thing. So I really like that. And so I'm putting it as a page in here, a full blown page. And I have some other pieces from it as well. And this is just some stuff that I want to include. And I read kind of, this is part of the kit that Rachel did for my destination. And so that's there. And I haven't glued anything down. I kind of just went, okay, I'll put a flap here or whatever. So I'm still not quite very far. And I have, let's see, in here, I put this in the middle here, but I'm not going to, like, what I wanted to do originally, that's right. I want to do all 30 days for my destination. So I want to do all the prompts for my destination. So this signature is really dedicated to to San Miguel. So I'm doing all the attempting to do all the prompts as well for this destination. So it's kind of double doing the work for all the other destinations plus mine, but that's okay. We'll see how it goes. I might have to finish this at a later date, but I think it's a fun project. And yeah, so like for instance, I did the swatches for San Miguel. So you'll notice I did the swatches for Nord Broads, I think it's called. And so I did the swatches for San Miguel. So these are just really like paint little swatches, acrylic paint markers of the colors. And so I'm just going to be pasting them somewhere here as the first prompt date. Okay, so let's get back to the folio. All right, so I've already started it. I did some planning because otherwise, it would take hours, because this did take me a couple of hours to come up with and get this together. And so I'll show you what I used. I used some packing paper, and it's very thin, and it has kind of a creamish, well, not creamish, I don't know, a grayish color, and it's flimsy and it is thin. So I doubled it up. And this is exactly what I did because they were the same size. So I doubled it up and I brought it over up here. And then I covered it with napkin, and this part, and I'll show you the napkin I used. Well, actually, I can show you on the actual portfolio, the folio itself. Let's just take this out. Oh, so many things. I got an avalanche that's going to start soon on this desk. I just got stuff everywhere. So I'll just take these things out. And here we have, so I put, this is the napkin I used. And this is the flower of San Miguel, the island. And so Azores Islands are made up of 9 islands, and San Miguel is the largest one. And actually, it's very close and dear to my heart because it's my parents' homeland. They immigrated over to Canada from the Azores, from San Miguel, 56 years ago or so. And yeah, and my mom is here, and my dad's, he passed away about 20 years ago, but he went back twice to visit, and my mom never returned to visit. when she came over with my dad the first time, she stayed, and that was it. She never went back. She never looked back, which I find is quite sad. But it's she said she couldn't leave again if she, like if she would go back to visit, and that meant she would have to leave again and say goodbye again. And I think it was just too hard on her. And so anyway, and so I'll say I have been to San Miguel twice, but it's been about 25 years that I've since been there, which seems so weird that it's been that long. And I went once there with my first husband, and then the following year, right after, I went with two of my brothers, and both trips were completely different experiences, as you can imagine, than from each other to the same place. We still have family there, and so we have family to visit and that sort of thing. And each visit was different. I saw different things in the first one than I did in the second one. The second one was more of an exploration because my dad has land over there, and it was more of an exploration of his land and a bit of where it stood, and went to go look at it and all that type of stuff. Very much an emotional trip. And anyway, all that to say, getting a little emotional. So my fact booklet is going to show a little bit about what's on the island, what's interesting, sort of thing. There's some very unique things about the island, and even that little mail club letter thing that I got. This was part of it. So it shows you a map of the 9 islands. They're all very close to one another. It's actually a 2-hour plane ride from San Miguel to the continent, which is right about here, Portugal. So it's a 2-hour flight. So it has quite its distance. From Canada, from Toronto, it's about a 5 to 6 hour flight. So it's quite the travel, but not as much as going to Ireland, obviously. But still, for the first time that I had gone on a plane was literally, because I said, if I'm going to take a trip, my first trip is to that island. And yeah, so there's some interesting facts. I have a list of all the facts here as well, of my scribbles, and so we'll walk through it as I create, and hopefully I can create at the same time. Sometimes it's a little difficult. So let's start with, so I took the postcards, and I apologize, I have everything kind of cut up. Let's go back to the folio. Sorry. So the folio, and I cut it down. So I started with this size, and then that was like, my book does fit it because it has the size pages, but with like inserting the cards, then it wouldn't, it would be falling through, like it was too big. So I shortened it, I cut it, I glued. So this is their island flower. Like during June and July, this flower is everywhere. And I think I'm frozen. I'm just going to double check. Okay, we're back. I think something like closed my app down. So I don't know how much of you heard or not, but we didn't get very far with the actual make. So I think we're good. Okay, let's get just back to the make. And so, yeah, so the flower for the island is this hydrangea, and it usually comes in these purples and blues, and they're all over the island. There's like along the highways, like you name it, this is what you see there, and a lot of greenery. It's very beautiful. This is in June and July, and then towards the end of July they start dying off. But so the weather is quite nice there, right now in the summer months. So I just flipped, and I doubled this packaging, and I glued it, and then I glued the napkin And I noticed a little bit of a piece of it was lifting here. So we'll just glue that down. And I just use regular glue stick for napkin, really. I find it's good enough. And then I kind of just eyeballed the 3 sections I wanted to do, and I was going to leave it a bit like this to show through. And you guys seen I already cut some of the image for to put on the folio. So there's this one, and on the back I'm going to put an envelope, but on the front we're going to put this because it has the San Miguel in the front, and I think that's just perfect. So we're going to do that, and I'm just going to pull my inkers. These are all the same. They're all mixed now. I don't even have one associated. And I was using I was using Uncharted Mariner, I believe. There's another blue one I was using. Or was it this one? No, it was this Mariner. It has like a turquoise color. And I used it for the postcards. We don't need the red. And we don't need the green. Okay, so I was kind of using this one. So I just needed to ink these up. So I've already cut them to size. And I'll try to story tell while I'm doing this, but I'm not very good at telling stories and crafting at the same time. I don't know how the others did it. I really don't. I find it a little bit difficult. Let me just get that blue page here. So I don't know. I wanted to put 10 facts, but it sounded like, and they're also places to visit and things you can do there. So it's a little bit factual, yes, of course, but there's only a couple pieces I would say are actual facts about the island, and we'll cover that. Okay, so there we go with that. And I'm going to ink all the sides of this little folio because I want it grunged up as well. I guess I didn't glue that very well. It's still coming up. I'm kind of using a new glue. Testing it out. Because, back to school, and I picked some, I had some bulk glue on sale, so I said, why not? Glue stick is a glue stick. Should be anyway. Okay, so yeah. So as soon as when Rachel had messaged me if I wanted to take part, and as soon as he mentioned about the destinations and we can choose our destination, I said right away it had to be San Miguel. And it just, and I've always wanted to make a journal about San Miguel. This one's, I have a lot of pictures from 25 years ago, but do you think I can find them? Not really. I found some, and my brother actually just came back from there this year. He hadn't gone in a couple of years, and so I took some of his pictures for me to kind of use in the meantime, because I honestly don't know where I put them. Back then it was digital cameras. I had a digital camera, so I don't know if I actually printed all of the pictures or if they're saved somewhere on a hard drive of sorts. It's been a long time. Yeah. So I'm hoping by the end of this month that I'll be a little more ahead of where I'm at. And I'm just going to, so I'm going to close these side pages. That's what I believe I was going to do. If the glue can cooperate. Doesn't want to cooperate. Okay, we got glue. I just pulled a new one. I think it was pretty low. So I'm just going to put glue on the sides. I'm not going to put in between, just to give it more space for putting things on. I think it would be better. Okay, now we're going to cover these front pages. I just want to mention, so all the pictures are all pretty much like the facts that I have about each thing. And I think this one is going in the middle. Let me just get my bearings of what I was doing. So I can put this here. That would be cute. Okay, let's do that. So these two, this is a lagoon, and it's split into two, and one is bluish and one is greenish. And it said that the legend is the lake inside the volcanic crater has two lagoons, one blue, one green. The local legend says that long ago, a blue-eyed princess and a green-eyed shepherd fell in love, but were forbidden to be together. And the different lagoons represent their tears that they filled these lagoons with. Quite tragic, I'd say. So yeah, here. And so that's the field notes of this card that I received. And it's called, in Portuguese, it's Sete Cidades, and the 7 cities. And the bridge that connects, like goes in between, because there's a bridge that goes in between here. It has 7 arches. And so it represents the 7 cities of San Miguel, I believe. The 7 major cities. I don't know all of the history, but that's what I was told. And so, yeah. So this is a very, and I've been there. This is the online. Oh, I think my thing went out again. I'm definitely having some technology issues. It popped out on me again. You might actually not even notice it by the time I edit it. So this is the postcard from Bella's kit, Rachel Bella's kit. You can see the green and the blue, and you do actually see a difference in person. And this is a photograph of, but this is the other side. If you can notice that, like, this here is the stretch of bridges that I was talking about, the bridge. And so one side is green and one side is blue. And now, like, we do know there's like a scientific thing to it. It's the way that the crater and the sun hits one side with the greenery around and makes it look like it's blue, and the other one making it look green. I believe that's the science behind it. I'm not sure. But this is the actual picture here on the right, but it's at a different viewpoint than it is this one. But you could still get this one, is what I'm saying. So there's a lookout that you can go and see this from above, basically. And the island is full of lookouts where you hike, you drive up to each lookout, and you get the most beautiful, breathtaking views of a portion of where you're at. So I decided to make pockets and insert pictures and just little notes and stuff in here. So that's what this is here. So I'll do that. And I was going to like write a little bit behind here about it, a little fact, like that fact. but I also had this field note thing, so I decided to keep that as my written part, I would say. So we're just going to glue this down. I'm continuing to cover this folio. Sorry, this video is a little chaotic. It really is chaotic. Just been really busy and haven't had too much time to craft, and trying to get my headspace to film is not easy. And I can feel this is not even sticky. Like, seriously. No glue on it. Yeah, that should be it. And here in the picture, it also shows the caldeiras, which are the hot springs, which we'll talk about next. And if I don't think I mentioned it, but the island does sit on volcanic. It's a volcano, basically. Oops, sorry, I hit the camera. I did hit the camera because it moved it like quite a bit. I think we're good. Good. Okay. Yeah, so, and it's constantly, it has these craters of hot springs in a city called Furnas, and they're all over the place. And it's obviously it's steaming hot. Like, there's an area where you can actually sit like it's a hot tub, and so you'll see here is one of the pictures I have. This was from online. I took the picture just to show, because I do have pictures of people in the hot springs, and it actually helps with arthritis and stuff. And well, it's a hot spring, it's a hot tub sort of thing, a natural hot tub, and the water is literally that color. It's like a sandy orange. And when you go there, it actually smells a bit of it smells like sulfur, basically. But what's the fun thing about this one? I think goes here. What's the fun thing about the hot springs is that it's and there's so many prompts that were so good for this. Well, actually, my prompt is is traditions. I think it was called. Let me just. I think it was cultural traditions or something. So a lot of people, what happens in these hot springs, you can actually do a cookout, and in the hot springs, and so it's embedded into the area is surrounded by forests, so it's gorgeous. I've been there. I sat there and watched them. They have holes that are dug to put huge metal pots into, and they cover them up with dirt to contain the heat. And it sits there for 6 to 7 hours. And there's actually someone who sits there that watches your food. So if you don't want to stay there for 7 hours to watch your food, there's someone there. And at the time, like 25 years ago, no one was paying him. He was doing that like out of pure generosity, and it was a way for him to spend his time. And people obviously would leave tips, and so it was very much tip based and stuff. And now there's a fee. So with the touristic attraction, definitely that's what it does. And so the hot springs, and so here's a kind of a more of an up close of the hot springs. This is Bella's, Rach and Bella's digital, and this is a photograph. So this is a photograph that has a bridge and that you can walk across and that sort of thing. Be very careful not to obviously fall into it because you would disintegrate, basically. and we wouldn't want that. And this is another picture of the land that where they dig up and they put the pots into it, um, and it stays sitting there for hours cooking. And I'll come back when it's the well. Actually, one of the prompts already passed with the cookout, like with the recipe of the country. So I want to do that. I don't think I'll be able to cover it all in this video, because otherwise it's going to be 2 hours long. And we're already 4 minutes in, 40 minutes in. I need to back this because this is just paper. So this one's going to go on this side. There we go. It's not matching the photo. I wanted to do that, but they were kind of all mixed matched. So it's okay. And here, okay, yeah, that's good. Our next one. So our next fun fact is San Miguel is the home to Europe's only tea plantations. And it's called the Goriana. And it's been growing tea since 1883. And it's Europe's only tea plantations. And so here's the picture. And it's literally, this is what it looks like. This is like excellent pictures that Rachel acquired. And so, and that's the postcard. And I have pockets here. So I have pictures that need to be put in here with some notes. I have the actual picture of it. I'm not sure if I printed it. But, and actually, fun fact, for the family anyway, my uncle worked, this is where my uncle worked for his entire career, was at the tea plantation. And now they have they have the factory there where they bag the tea and all of that. And they have tours. And even 25 years ago, they had tours. I was able to tour it. I was able to see how it's made and all that sort of thing. And it's really fun to go see that. And you get like a little tea. You can get a tea sample, or I think you have to purchase it, which is normal. To have to purchase it. Now I'm missing a piece. Let me see where we're going. Okay, so I have some more background. This is a background page from my kit, from my destination. So I'm just going to use some of this to finish covering this little folio. And we'll keep talking about, so we did the tea. So it's coming along. Oh, and I'm going to leave the top here for pockets as well, for longer tags. And, I haven't glued that down yet, so we'll glue that. I think it would be good if we did glue this. This would kind of make this interesting if I had a big interesting page to put on here. And it can be like, you can completely open it. Like I could put a collage of a whole bunch of pictures, but I got the whole journal to do that. So I think this is going to be already loaded enough. Okay, so that's that. So let's work on, there's a piece I want to put here that I can't find. And I thought I was going to put like little pockets from the kit. So we got that page, and we just got this back page. So I'm going to put this, and then I'm going to put this as an envelope. So it'll be like a tuck spot at the back. So we can do that. I should have tore the edge, because I mean, it's like I'm doing torn edges. And on to our, I don't know which one we're on. I think we're on the fourth one. We've already done 3. The next one I didn't really know about. It was about this is the only place in the world that has indoor pineapple plantations. In the early 1900s, the Azorians took to growing pineapples after a disease took out their orange trees. They have been growing them in greenhouses because it's too cold. So it does get cold there in the winter months. I wouldn't say it's not as bad as, well, let's say, Canada. Um, I've been there in March, and I've been there the first time I went in September, and it was gorgeous weather. It was still very hot. But in March, my second trip, and that was one with my brothers, that one was very interesting. It was chilly. It's very humid there, and like it's humid here as well. But I found that we were warmer outside than we were in the houses because the houses are all made of concrete. They're not wood like we are here, and then we heat our homes. And they have like spatial heaters for when it gets really cold. But while we were there, they hardly turned them on, and we wore our winter jackets indoors. Um, it was just a very different type of weather. My mom even warned us to bring our winter jackets because it's not the same type of cold, she would say. And I would have to agree, it is not the same type of cold. Because we were like 10 degrees, 12 degrees, we are already heating our houses. They're not. So you can imagine. And that was quite the experience. So anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. So the pineapple, right? So the pineapple can't grow since it's too cold there for a good part of the year. And so they grow them in greenhouses. And I have another picture here taken online because I didn't actually visit a greenhouse with pineapples, but here it is in the greenhouse. So very cool. So I've been there twice, and there is still so much to see. Like I said, my brother went there and came back in July, and he said there was places there that he hadn't gone to visit either. And there's actually a few pictures, like I said, I took because they were just breathtaking. Yeah, I have to find it. I haven't printed it out yet, so I have to print it out. So you'll see it later on in this video. I think this video is going to be, it's already at 48 minutes. I'm trying not to go over an hour, that's for sure. But okay, so here's the back, and I just want to add some travel thing to it. So I'm going to remove these. I thought I was going to keep them, but they're a little too long. Keep that. I might have to cut a bit. Just a little smidgen on each side because I don't want to lose the little thing on the side. Okay. And so that's another fun fact. And then it also says the Azores Islands are home to more cows than people. That I'm not too sure. And that I don't know. There is a lot of cows there, and you have road closures because of natural road closures. So if you're in a rush and you got to get somewhere, and the cows are crossing, good luck with that. Is all I'm going to say. It's pretty funny. So we're going to glue this here, and it's just going to be a little text spot. Yeah, good on that side. put some more of the pictures that I'm going to have of the other locations. There's so much to discover there. It's so beautiful. And I'm not just saying that because it's my ancestry, right? It's my ancestors. I was born here in Canada. My older brother was born there. So, and we were very much raised in the Portuguese culture. And this is going to be a little too long, I think. It's just barely gluing. And yeah, it's a different rhythm. And they have what they call the big city, which is Ponta Delgada. And they have, it's where that's where the airport is. And it's 45, and so my parents' hometown, my mom is Maya, and my dad is Lumba de Maya. And this is the Maya's church. They're quite different in construction, but I discovered they're not all like this. These are the more modern ones. Trying to find and here's a picture of their village, and it's like off the coast. Like it's literally cliffs. The houses are like right next to the ocean. It's beautiful. And this one is a cayeta, is what we call it, and it's a natural pool, like just the way the rocks have formed here, and water. There's always water here. There's high tide and low tide, but typically this always it's somewhat of a natural swimming pool. So you do see, they've made stairs to go down, showers, and all that type of stuff. But it's quite rough. It's quite rough to be down there. But yeah, so I found that quite interesting. And just to show you, this is my dad's land and its current state. It is being farmed and that sort of thing. But yeah, and this is the view from his land. I believe this is the view from his land. So, and he has another piece of land that's off of a cliff that is his vineyard. And that one I can't locate a picture yet. I might not be able to. So, okay, so let's keep filling this. Now I was backing the postcards with this blue paper because I find it's like so pretty. And I think I'm going to put this here because, so another fun fact, the Portuguese from the island are very religious, and they have quite a few festivals that go on in the summer. So all along, like July, especially June and July, and they decorate the streets with flowers. And I have pictures of that as well, so I'll try to show you those. And yeah, and everybody has, because it's like a line of like townhouses all the way down the street, like the section my mom was raised in, and each neighbor has their responsibility in decorating their part of the street. Because then there's a processional that passes down the street, and the flowers are for that processional, basically. So I'm just kind of gluing that on that paper. I love this paper. It turned out so nice when I dyed it. I'm going to put this behind here. And and that's home to Divine Espírito Santo is the name of the church. So this is very much a kind of work in progress. I didn't want to rush it either, but that's what it is. I just heard something crunch. There we go. So that's how I was doing these little kind of snippets. And then we just put that in there. And I think, I'm not sure that's going to work. Yeah, it will. And so there we have it. Oh, let's cover this. I thought for sure I had enough paper to cover all these 3 sections. It would be nice if I can finish that. I was going to print maybe another sheet of it. Because this, maybe I'll put it, and I also wanted to put some small pockets here for added little inserts. I'll do this here. I'll put this one. Kind of a background page, and then I can put a pocket. Some of it's drawn, some of it's not. That's okay. I'm going to ink it anyway. There we go. So, I don't know if I covered everything on my list. Let me check on kind of... yeah, so there's still the abandoned 5-star hotel that's isolated on the mountaintop. You can actually go visit it. There's a pottery manufacturer since 1862. And I have a picture of that. It's right here. I think I was going to include that in the... right here. Nice ceramic place. I didn't actually see that. And then, there's actually church ruins, and that's in the Furnish. That's where the springs are, and the hot springs. And the chapel has a love story to it, and it's a very medieval-looking church, and it was dated in it was built in the 1800s. So, I was going to look up the first settlers of the island and the first settlers, but I forgot. But for the reason of someone building a church for his wife in the 1800s, can say that, yeah, they've been on that island for a long time. And the pineapple plantations is almost 100 years ago. 100 years, and it's called Aruda Azores. And my mom is also Aruda, and I don't know if this is. I doubt it's the same Aruda, but could be. We don't know. And oh yeah, I did write down here. Early Portuguese settlement was in the 1420s. Wow. Wow. Okay. I think I was just going to decorate it just with that. That would be kind of cute. Okay, so we need to ink this side. That's still good. It's kind of something's unsticky. It's the background page. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed that. Quite a bit. There's a lot of facts, right? Every country has lots going on. I think I hit the big ticket items, but I do want to print out pictures of the abandoned 5-star hotel, because I was there, and also the church ruins. I wasn't there, but it's gorgeous. So I want to get those pictures printed. And so we got all our little kind of fun facts in the folio. We made our folio. Um, this, I'm not sure what I'm doing. There's a whole bunch of these waterfalls everywhere hidden in the forest. Like it's it's best to experience it in person. You can never, pictures do not do it justice, is what I'll say about it. And I'm hoping to go back one day to introduce it to my two sons and my husband, because I think it's important that they know their heritage. Well, my kids know their heritage, and that my husband knows where my family came from, and not just in pictures. And anyway, so someday it is on the bucket list again to go there in the future, and I'm hoping to go there. And it was nice to kind of revisit all these little things, these facts about it, and talk about it. So thanks for watching to the end. I hope you watched to the end. Um, Sorry for the long video, but yeah, and I hope you continue to enjoy all the destinations, and continue to watch all the videos, like and comment, and go have fun with the kit. Even if it, like, the freebies are great, I still have to create with those. And I really want to come back at the end of the month and give a maybe a full flip through of what I created. I don't know if I'll get all of it done, but I'm hoping to get quite a bit of it finished. And so I'll be back. And so in the meantime, let the serendipity find you in your crafting, and off to the next destination. Thanks. Bye.